The Young and the Restless spoilers Tuesday full January 21st, 2025 A web of deceit, the struggles of Claire, Nikki, and the fight for Sharon. Tensions in Genoa City were at an all-time high. Secrets, betrayal, and desperation had woven a tangled web, ensnaring everyone involved. At the center of it all were Nikki, Claire, and the mysterious disappearance of Sharon. Each person had their own motivations, alliances, and fears, but as their plans collided, the fragile balance threatened to shatter entirely. Nikki's gamble. Nikki Newman had always been a fierce protector of her family. When it came to ensuring their safety, there was no line she wouldn't cross. So, when she chose to reveal her and Claire's secret to Victor, she did so not out of recklessness, but out of necessity. Victor, with his unmatched resources and cunning, was the only person Nikki could trust to handle the volatile situation. But Claire saw it differently. "You betrayed me," Claire hissed, her voice shaking with anger as she confronted Nikki in private. "How could you tell Victor? This was supposed to stay between us." Nikki stood her ground, her gaze steady. "I didn't betray you, Claire. I made a choice to protect this family. Victor can handle Jordan in ways we can't. You should have trusted me." "Trusted you?" Claire snapped, her frustration boiling over. "You're so blinded by your love for Victor that you've put all of us at risk. Do you think he'll stop at Jordan? He'll unravel everything we've worked for." But Nikki's patience had worn thin. "Claire, this isn't about you or me. It's about saving Sharon and keeping this family intact. If you're not on board with that, then maybe you're the one putting us at risk." Claire's dilemma. Claire found herself caught in an impossible position. On one hand, she wanted to trust Nikki's judgment. After all, Nikki had been in the Newman orbit for decades, navigating its labyrinth of power and secrets. But on the other, Claire knew how dangerous Victor could be when he felt his family was threatened. Would he protect Claire as fiercely as Nikki believed, or would he sacrifice her to ensure his family's safety? As the days dragged on, Claire felt the walls closing in. Her loyalty was being questioned, and her own survival hung precariously in the balance. Faith and Mariah had placed their trust in her, urging her to act faster in finding Sharon. "Claire," Faith pleaded during one heated exchange, "we believe in you. You're smart. You know Jordan better than anyone. If you don't help us find Mom, who will?" Mariah, her voice sharper with frustration, added, "This isn't about you, Claire. It's about Sharon. Stop stalling and figure out where Jordan has her." But Claire was drowning under the pressure. How could she possibly outsmart Jordan, who had always been 2 steps ahead? And how could she choose between the Newman family's trust and her own survival? Sharon's silent struggle. Meanwhile, Sharon was enduring her darkest days. For 3 long days, she had been left alone in her grim prison, with no sign of Jordan. The lack of food and water was beginning to take its toll. Weak and disoriented, Sharon clung to the faint hope that someone, Nikki, Faith, Mariah, anyone, would find her before it was too late. Jordan's cruelty knew no bounds. She had abandoned Sharon in the name of business, prioritizing her schemes over the life of the woman she held captive. But her absence was a double-edged sword. While it gave Sharon a momentary reprieve from Jordan's relentless torment, it also left her to fend for herself, her physical and emotional strength dwindling with each passing hour. Sharon's thoughts drifted to her family. She imagined Nick's determination, Faith's innocence, and Mariah's fiery resolve. Those images became her lifeline, the only thing keeping her from succumbing to despair. "Hold on," she whispered to herself, her voice barely audible. "They'll find me. They have to." Jordan's dangerous game. Jordan's absence wasn't just neglect, it was strategy. She knew the Newman family was closing in, and she needed to stay ahead of them. Her plans were unraveling faster than she could manage, and she couldn't afford any mistakes. Sharon was a pawn, and for now, keeping her alive was enough. But Jordan's confidence in her own cunning could prove to be her downfall. She underestimated the lengths to which the Newman family, especially Victor, would go to protect their own. And she underestimated the determination of Claire, who, despite her internal conflict, wasn't ready to give up the fight. The pressure builds back at the Newman estate. Nikki and Victor strategized late into the night. Victor, ever the calculated tactician, was already mobilizing resources to locate Sharon. Jordan won't stay hidden for long, he assured Nikki. She's playing a dangerous game, and she's not as smart as she thinks. Nikki, though grateful for Victor's involvement, couldn't shake the feeling that they were running out of time. Sharon's life depended on them staying one step ahead of Jordan. Faith and Mariah, unable to sit idle, continued to pressure Claire. "We don't care how dangerous it is," Mariah insisted. "We need answers, and we need them now." Claire, caught between loyalty and fear, finally snapped. "Do you think I'm not trying? I'm risking everything to help you. I can't just snap my fingers and make Sharon appear." Her outburst left the room silent, the weight of her words hanging heavy. But the silence didn't last. Faith stepped forward, her voice steady. "Then risk everything. Mom would do it for us." Hope on the horizon as the Newman family scrambled to piece together the puzzle, Sharon's hope flickered like a fragile flame. She didn't know how long she could hold on, but she knew one thing: her family wouldn't give up on her. And maybe, just maybe, Claire, torn and battered as she was, would find the strength to make the right choice. The fight for Sharon's life was far from over, and with tensions boiling over, one wrong move could destroy everything. But one thing was certain: Jordan's reign of terror wouldn't last forever. The Newman family was closing in, and their resolve was stronger than ever. In Genoa City, the line between survival and betrayal had never been thinner. Victor versus Jordan, a clash of titans that could change everything in the grand tapestry of Genoa City. Few figures have loomed larger than Victor Newman. Known as the unyielding patriarch of the Newman family, Victor has spent decades defending his loved ones and solidifying his legacy. But when it comes to the confrontation with Jordan, a woman whose cunning and ruthlessness have left even Victor scrambling, the stakes have never been higher. For fans, the looming clash promises a dramatic, perhaps shocking, conclusion that will ripple through the story for years to come. Jordan, the perfect villain. Jordan has proven herself to be a formidable adversary. Every move she's made has been calculated, her manipulations intricate and precise. From abducting Sharon to keeping the Newman family on edge, she's been the architect of chaos in a storyline that had grown stale before her arrival. For many fans, Jordan's character has been a necessary jolt of energy. Her presence reignited the stakes for the Newman family, forcing them to confront not just external threats, but internal fractures as well. Yet, as captivating as Jordan is, her time may be running out. To some viewers, her death would be the fitting end to an arc that saw her rise as a nearly unstoppable force. It would solidify her legacy as a villain who left her mark before exiting the stage. But others argue that Jordan's survival, and Victor's demise, would be an even more shocking and compelling twist. Victor's mission. Peace at any cost. Victor Newman is not a man to be trifled with. His entire life has been a testament to his determination, his brilliance, and his unshakable love for his family. Facing Jordan is not just about revenge or justice for Sharon, it's about restoring the peace his family so desperately needs. As he prepares for the confrontation, Victor's motivations are clear. "I've fought too long and too hard for this family," he says to Nikki in one emotional scene. "I'll do whatever it takes to keep them safe, even if it costs me everything." But Victor's resolve is not without risk. Jordan is dangerous, unpredictable, and desperate. Her back is against the wall, and she has nothing left to lose. This makes her a wild card in their final encounter, one that could lead to outcomes no one expects. The fan divide: who will survive? The question of who will emerge from this confrontation alive has fans passionately debating. The case for Jordan's death: many fans see Jordan's death as the natural conclusion to her arc. Her villainy has served its purpose. She's pushed the Newman family to their limits, tested their loyalty, and forced them to grow stronger. Her demise at Victor's hands would be poetic justice, a fitting end for a character who has caused so much pain. "Victor has been through so much," one fan wrote on a forum. He deserves to walk away from this with his family intact. Jordan dying would be the closure we need. The case for Victor's death, on the other hand, some fans argue that Victor's death would be the ultimate twist, shaking Genoa City to its core. After all, Victor is the unshakable force of the Newman family, and his death would leave a void that no one could fill. It would also elevate Jordan's threat level, cementing her as a villain who achieved what no one else could. Imagine the ripple effects of Victor dying, another fan suggested. The Newman family would be thrown into chaos. Nikki, Nick, Victoria, Adam. They'd all have to step up in ways we've never seen before. It could redefine the show. The showdown, a moment of truth. The confrontation itself promises to be a masterclass in tension and drama. Victor, armed with his characteristic wit and cunning, faces off against Jordan, whose desperation has made her even more dangerous. In a remote warehouse or perhaps an abandoned estate, the stage is set for their final clash. Jordan holds all the cards, or so she thinks. She's planned for every contingency, accounted for every move Victor might make. But Victor has one thing Jordan doesn't, the unbreakable will to protect his family. "I'm not afraid of you, Jordan," Victor says, his voice calm but menacing. "You've caused enough pain. This ends now." The fallout, whether it is Victor or Jordan who doesn't survive the confrontation, the fallout will be monumental. If Jordan dies, the Newman family will finally have the peace they've been fighting for. Sharon will recover, Faith and Mariah will heal, and Nikki will breathe a sigh of relief knowing her husband triumphed once again. But if Victor is the one to fall, it would send shockwaves through Genoa City. His death would mark the end of an era and force the Newman family to reckon with life without their patriarch. For Claire, who has been caught in the middle of the chaos, the outcome could mean redemption or exile. And for Sharon, Victor's sacrifice would stand as a painful reminder of the lengths he went to save her. What fans want versus what fans need in the end, the writers of The Young and the Restless face a delicate balancing act. Jordan's story has revitalized the show, but her exit, whether through death or survival, must feel earned. Similarly, while Victor's death would be a seismic event, it would also risk alienating fans who see him as the heart of the show. One thing is certain, this showdown will be one for the ages. Whether it ends with Jordan's downfall or Victor's tragic exit, the confrontation will leave a lasting impact on Genoa City, and on fans who have followed these characters through every twist and turn.